Today I'm going to talk about my clinical experience. My name is Harrison Davis, and I spent 26 hours in Richmond, Utah, in the North Cache Center with Mr. Cordner's 8th grade integrated science class. The first experience I wanted to share was my first time teaching to the students. I had been going to class, or his class, for about 3 or 4 times, and he wanted me to get right into it. And so I taught a lesson about chemical reactions. First, I did the warm up that the teacher wanted me to do because every class had participated in this warm up. And after the warm up was done, I went on to explain what a reactant was and what a product was, and the conservation of the elements on both sides. So there's two H2 molecules here, so 4 hydrogens, and how there has to be 4 hydrogens on this side. So I explained this and a few other things, and I passed out a worksheet for each table, or for each person, and each table was responsible for one problem to show the class. So after 10 minutes of them of working on this, each table had an opportunity to come to the board and show their knowledge. And a positive point was that the students all seemed knowledgeable about the information that I presented to them. Each table had a pretty solid understanding of chemical reactions and how there had to be a balance. Another good thing that I liked about this teaching experience was I had all the students' attention. They all seemed focused. I didn't hear any talking. Perhaps it was just because it was my first time in front of the classroom, so I was not really worried about what they were doing and more worried about what I was doing. But I felt like I had their attention. And it could be just because it was my first time and they were like, who is that new guy? Things I needed to work on, I backtracked a few times because the students didn't know some of the background information. And so I had to kind of re-explain a few simple things that I thought they had already known, but I should have asked questions. Another vignette that I wanted to share that was good, that I liked, that was a positive teaching experience for me, was 2 students were talking during class. Mr. Cordner was teaching at the time, and so he sent them into the hall. And after a few minutes of his teaching, he asked me if I wanted to resolve the conflict, and so I felt like I gave them wise advice. They were just, one girl was helping her friend answering a question, and the boy was saying, "Stop talking." And the boy was kind of silly. He said something like, "Don't talk, or else I'll mess your face up more than it's already messed up." And that might sound mean, and I guess it was, but he wasn't trying to sound mean. And so basically, and I don't know, he was just trying to be funny. So I reminded him to think about what he says before he speaks. Advice that I still receive. One thing that I want to work on was an impromptu teach that Mr. Cordner had me do. I was there for 5th and 6th period one day, and he asked me if I wanted to teach the 6th period after I saw the 5th period, and of course I said yes. I was excited to teach. Some of the things that I didn't like about, however, was it wasn't my lesson plan. Or I didn't have a plan at all. I just basically tried to do what Mr. Cordner did, and although there was unique things that I did that he didn't do, I wasn't prepared, and I didn't feel that the students got an adequate understanding of the information I was trying to relay. Some of the good things, though, the students were attentive, and it could be that I was new, but they seemed to be, it was a lab that I was explaining, and they seemed to be actively working, doing the lab according to the instructions I gave. Yeah, that's my clinical experience in a nutshell. There obviously was much more things that happened, and there was informal teaching experiences that I really enjoyed. But those are some vignettes that hopefully gave a good example of how I did this semester, and I look forward to Methodist too. I'll be there next semester, and yeah, that's my presentation.